Okay, welcome everyone. Thanks for coming. I think we got our waiting room needs met there. For now. Yep. All right. Oh, let's see. Still coming. So nice. All right. So for those of us who are here, we'll start, and I'll just keep like a half an eye on the waiting room, see what I need to do. And I'm glad you're here. Good to see you. Important commitments to make and to keep making. So please sit comfortably in your preferred upright seat and rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes if that helps you to be more present, more concentrated, a little bit like drawing the curtains on the windows and feeling like you're more at home. As you come into the present moment, you can also remind yourself that the past is here in your body memory, but the past is not actively right now happening. The future is yet to come. So we're sharing this present moment. And each one of us faces the opportunity to really be present here in the now, with the tugs of past reviewing and the tugs of future planning. If we consider that past reviewing might be an instinct to try to resolve some of the past, to prevent it from being in the future, and if we hypothesize that some of our future planning is to prevent what happened in the past, we can kind of see a sincere effort in there. But we also have a dilemma. The dilemma is the brain state from which we look to the past for healing or resolving, and the brain state from which we look to the future for planning or manifesting has to be the most ideal brain state. Not the brain state that's still hooked to the past, or that is worried about or hypervigilant about the future, but the brain state that has this whole brain, whole heart. So that's how we come to practice, and we place ourselves here in the present. So as you begin breathing more deeply, try to sense even right in the microcosm of one breath, you have that which is arriving and that which is departing. And the inhale gives itself to the exhale. The fullness gives itself to the emptiness. Exhale surrenders itself to inhale. Emptiness bows at the process of fullness. So they have mutual respect. As you're breathing in and breathing out, let the breath become smoother yet again. And start noticing the gaps or the pauses in the breath cycle as well. Now those gaps or pauses, we can think of them as the inhale, the fullness, the exhale, the emptiness. We also can think of it as the stillness at the top of the in-breath, the stillness at the bottom of the out-breath. Almost like when we say solstice in the annual cycle, we have equinox and solstice. Solstice means the standing still, the appearance that something stood still and we're at the solstice in winter and summer. So the cycle with our breath is also the cycle of life and the cycle of nature. With all of this in your awareness, please bring your hands together at your heart. We'll chant the Gayatri mantra this afternoon. Let's begin. Om Bhurvubhuva Suvah Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimoi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Bhurvubhuva Suvah Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimoi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Bhurvubhuva Suvah Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimoi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. And with your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. And release your hands. Open your eyes. Of course, one of the ironies of our time is that we are facing this massive change in the climate, and we have to do some future planning and also past reviewing. So what I'm saying for our yoga practice is that we aren't actively right now using that part of our brain or our mind. We are, during the practice, having refuge from that. So we can elicit the best possible brain, heart, mind, and body state from which to then look forward and look back and see how to participate. I just wanted to clarify that. Many of you in this class, in this Zoom room, you're social activists. I have an activist nature as well, whether that's, let me call social activism anything on which we're depending, including the ecology. So I don't want that part of us to feel like we don't have permission to practice yoga. We need the yoga so that we can participate. We also want to encourage everyone else to be participating to the best of their ability in the role that's suited to them. So that being said, please come up to standing. I'm going to move back to my other camera. Let's see if I can get this turned on and ready to go. There we go. Okay, great. So today we're going to use 2 blocks and 1 blanket. You can see I have those there. And also if you have a sandbag, that will become helpful to you as well. And let me bring my iPad back in case I have to sign anybody else in for class. Okay, we're going to start with the blanket for the knees in table pose and the 2 blocks for the hands. So if you set up your blanket, and I have folded it this way on purpose because I'm going to want your knees to be a little bit higher than your hips are when we go backwards to child's pose. And then place your 2 blocks for your hands, like this. Yeah, all right. And so table pose with the arms a little bit longer than your regular arms and your knees a tiny bit elevated. And let's press into cat pose, please. Use your inhale for that. And then exhale to cow pose. Invite your spine to get a little bit warmed up here. Now inhale through your nose to cat pose. Exhale, glide backwards to child's pose. Get warmed up with this action. And now inhale through the nose, cat pose. And exhale, blow out, cow pose. Inhale to cat. And then hum for child's pose. Hum. Inhale, cat. Blow out, cow pose. Inhale, cat. Humming, child's pose. Inhale, cat. Cow. Inhale, plank, gaze down. Exhale through the nose, downward facing dog pose. Inhale through your nose, plank pose. Hum to child's pose. Hum. Inhale, cat. Cow. Plank. Downward dog, exhale through your nose. Inhale, plank. Child's pose. Hum. Inhale, cat. I'm going to add to the sequence now. Exhale, cow. Now inhale forward to seal pose. Lion's breath. Inhale, plank pose. Downward facing dog pose. Plank pose. Hum to child's pose. Hum. Again, inhale, cat. Cow. Inhale to seal pose. Lion's breath. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Now inhale, step forward, heart forward. And exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to your heart. Mountain pose, Anjali Mudra. Get ready for the sun salutation here. You can keep your blocks and your blanket, please. Okay. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, chair pose. Now only Ujjayi. But we'll come back to making sounds and sticking the tongue out later. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, Uttanasana. Remember, the inhale gives itself to the exhale. The exhale gives itself to the exhale pause. That gives itself to the inhale. Slide your heart forward. Open your heart and your throat. Exhale, left toes back, left knee to the blanket. Inhale to rise, anjaneyasana. And exhale, arms wide, open your chest, your heart, and your throat. Inhale, raise your arms. Remember, the inhale is going to give itself to the inhale pause. Exhale, open. The pause delivers itself to the exhale. One more time, inhale to rise. And exhale, descend, simply to touch the two blocks. Then inhale, step forward, heart forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Then inhale, heart forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Okay, now right toes back and right knee down. Inhale, uncurl as you rise. Exhale to open. We'll do this 3 times. So try to sense not just that you're moving with the breath, but how the breath is delivering itself to the pause. And inhale to exhale. And the exhale will give itself also to the inhale. One more time, inhale to reach up. And exhale, bow forward, touch the two blocks. Inhale to plank pose, step over your blanket. And exhale, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, glide forward plank. Now slowly touch your knees down as you come to seal pose with the exhale. And then inhale in seal pose. Set your shoulders back. Raise your chin. Exhale, lion's breath. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, step forward, heart forward, step over your blanket. And exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale to rise. The incoming breath gives itself to the pause. Exhale, hands to your heart. The outgoing breath surrenders to the stillness. The inhale begins again. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, departing, arriving, dissolving, emerging. Inhale, come forward. Releasing, manifesting. So many ways this rhythm shows up. Take the left knee back to your blanket, please. Inhale, rise, anjaneyasana. Exhale, open and twist to your right. Inhale, rise, anjaneyasana. Exhale, open and twist. Inhale to rise. Exhale, open and twist. Last one. Let's take the arms wide as we come down and touch both blocks firmly. Inhale, plank pose, step over your blanket. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale to seal pose. So the knees will touch the blanket. Point your toes. Slide your shoulders back and your heart forward. Inhale, raise your chin like a happy dog. Lion's breath. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Now wait for the next exhale, please. And on that exhale, step your left foot forward, Touch your right knee down. Inhale, rise up, anjaneyasana. As beautifully full as an expression is, it'll dissolve as we exhale, go wide and twist left. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, open and twist left. Inhale to rise. Exhale, open, twist left. One more time to go up. And exhale, big circle as you open. So we can even feel how dissolving in a yoga pose, it has a kind of delicious flavor. Let's inhale, step over your blanket, heart forward. And exhale, uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. And hands to the heart. Listen for the stillness that those breath pauses are pointing to. We're rising and fading, ebbing and flowing. Emerging, dissolving, manifesting, releasing, arriving, departing. The present moment is the only fresh moment in which we experience life. We're balancing on your right leg. We're going to come into tree pose. Please bring your left knee up and place your left heel somewhere on the inseam of your right leg. Could be down at the ankle like a kickstand position, or anywhere up along, except not against your knee, please. Center your hips to be forward. Let's tone the right outer hip here and lengthen through the left thigh out in whatever direction the left knee is headed. It does not need to be 180. That doesn't actually exist for most people. And join your hands. Now, as firmly as you might press your left foot into your thigh, we want the right thigh to be as firm, pressing back. If your foot is lower on the shin or the ankle, the firmness can be modified there. Let's raise the arms. Notice the quality of tree pose after movement. Even if your tree has a little wobble, notice the quality of the physical expression and also your mind. And you may practice lifting your gaze up. And opening the arms out. Keep your tree pose steady as you might try raising your gaze a little bit more. And slowly start bringing your palms together and pace your eyes to meet your fingertips as your hands come back to touch. And then step your left foot down, mountain pose, also called samastitihi, even standing. Notice any access you have to stillness right now. And then standing on your left leg, bend your right knee. And place your right foot in your tree pose. Firm your left outer hip, so the muscles you have from the outer hip here down to the trochanter, like a side pocket, firm those muscles there. And then aim your right thigh to lengthen towards its own knee, whatever that angle happens to be. Join your hands. Raise your arms. It's always optional, of course, you don't have to raise the arms. And keep your actions steady, your breath steady. The opportunity for the mind in tree pose is also to be steady. You may try raising your gaze. You may try opening the arms. You might try raising your gaze all the way up. It's based on your neck flexibility, of course. And then as you exhale, time the process to bring your palms together and for your eyes to meet your fingertips. And step your right foot down. And come to mountain pose. Rising and fading, emerging, dissolving, manifesting, releasing. Inhaling, exhaling. And now we're going to use a variation on anjaneyasana. and try to address your hip flexors and your psoas a little bit more. So if you'll take the 2 blocks like this, one in the center of the mat, and let's put it left and center, so your feet, right foot on the outside, no block over there. Left foot between the 2 blocks. And then step your left knee back to where you were before in anjaneyasana. And with your right foot, walk your foot out to about 45 degrees, kind of like where it was in tree pose a moment ago. And I would like it to line up so that your knee and toes are sharing that direction, even if your foot could go farther. If your knee cannot, please put the toes with your knee. And then you can glide your hips forward, and the upper body could kind of mimic seal pose for a few moments here. Probably not completely, but in that direction. So tailbone down and forward. Press your right knee open. Tone the right outer hip to help open your right knee. It's a little bit like having a hinge on the door. And breathing in and breathing out. Encourage both hips to come forward. There's a temptation likely for the left hip to come more forward than the right. So again, if you tone the right outer hip, even give it a little squeeze, imagine the right inner groin opening to let the right side of your pubic bone come forward, equal to the left side. So then you're centered on the left hip flexors right now, centered. Okay, walk the right block forward. Keep the left arm strong. Now step the right block back. 2 strong arms. Pick up your left knee. Straighten your right leg. Even though it's on this funny angle out here, straighten it. And send your left heel straight back. Does not need to touch the floor. Now walk the right hand under, so it's directly under your shoulder. Press into both blocks and bring the spine to cat pose. Pivot your left heel without causing undue shifting in your right leg. Pivot the left heel down and in. And now make this cat pose stronger by rooting into your right arm. Energize your right leg and very slowly start to open to triangle pose. This is a variation on your triangle pose, and the right foot is turned out quite a bit. That cat pose, to bring you into triangle pose, is deliberately trying to lift the parachute of the back of the body. Let's take it down now this way. Sweep your left arm past your left ear. The left block is forward of the right block. Use your right arm to make cat pose in the spine as you reach your left fingertips back to that block. Pivot your left heel up. Bend your right knee. Walk your block forward like you're a tiger in the jungle. Touch your left knee down. Raise your heart. And then step your right block back, symmetrical with your left. Turn the right toes in and step forward with your left foot. Enjoy a moment in Uttanasana. Now your right leg might have an increase of circulation and the left leg might feel like the hip flexors got a little bit of a tension there. Let's switch the blocks and scooch on your mat where you need to. Now standing on your left foot, take your right knee back and place your right knee on the blankets. Walk your left foot, heel toe out, so it's like a 45-degree angle right through here. And the arms and the heart can be like seal pose. Invite the hips to come forward for sure, but really think about how your hips are coming forward. The inclination for the right one to come more forward is understandable, but not right now recommended. So tone the left outer butt and press your left knee open. And try to bring the left side of the pubic bone forward as much as the right. So you're really looking at any restriction you have in the upper inner groin on the left side. Okay, walk the left block forward. Keep your right hand strong, right arm strong. Now walk the left block back, put it under your left shoulder, straighten your right leg, left leg. Yes, your foot is turned at a funny angle. Maybe you're even touching the floor past the mat where the alligators live, right out there. Come into cat pose. And keeping your left arm very strong for this cat pose, without shifting your left hip about, pivot your right heel to the floor. And begin emerging into triangle pose. So trikonasana, it's a temporary form, kind of like we've been speaking about how the wave is comprised of ocean. But while it's wave, it enjoys the form of wave. So you can enjoy the form of triangle pose. And then follow your exhale to reach your right arm past your ear and slowly, slowly rolling down. Reach for the block for your right hand, it's asymmetrical. And then pivot your right heel up. As you bend your left knee, take the left block forward like you're a tiger walking in the jungle. Touch the right knee down. And then walk your left foot in. Position the left block with the right and step forward. Enjoy your Uttanasana. Now you can take both blocks on either side of your feet. Use your hands and your arms with strength. Please bend your knees and come to sit down. And you have this blanket behind you. Let's place the upper back and the heart right there on the blanket. Open your chest. Lay your shoulders back like cactus pose. It will show you a profile. Hopefully you didn't have to move very far to get into your position. And so when you lie back, let the chest and the heart and the shoulders enjoy this gentle opening. And notice it again, the inhale's rising, exhale descending. The in-breath arrives, the out-breath departs. Many, many waves in the ocean. Life being born, life dying away. The spring bud on a branch, the leaves in the autumn. So checking that your blanket is directly under your shoulder blades, put your arms out into a T shape. Let's make the feet with the knees bent as wide as your mat. And then tip both knees down to your right. Try to roll your left shoulder back down towards the floor so it continues to root. Your left shoulder continues to root, even though it's not touching the ground. Lengthen from your left low belly into your left thigh and knee. And notice the in-breath arriving and departing, and the stillness in the pauses of the breath. And please roll your knees up to center. Bring your nose to center also. And take both knees down to your left side. Try to keep the right shoulder rooted, just heading towards the floor. Lengthen through your right thigh into your right knee. Just welcoming this opportunity to open the body from the inside, while you're also just so aware every in-breath is arriving, every out-breath is departing. So we see this reflection multiple, countless times a day, the ever unfolding natural impermanence in life. Exhale, roll your knees up to center. And if it's really comfortable for you right now, this blanket roll, you can actually use it for Shavasana. But if it's in any way provocative to you, if you feel like, oh, that's really going to be a big back bend for me in Shavasana, then it might be your pose today for Shavasana. Another option is to keep the blanket roll under the heart and add one under your head. A third is to add also a bolster under your knees. And another option, of course, is to have a regular Shavasana, like a traditional Shavasana. You have nothing underneath, nothing needed for that. And allow yourself to begin resting. This is the part of your practice where you get to embody the dissolving part. And just gently inviting all the efforts, all the actions, all the dedication you just had in your practice, you now give that over to the Shavasana. You could imagine that at the same time there is this composting of your practice, and compost is what we build the garden from. You can allow that process inside. And as you watch the gentle fading of your efforts, your exertion, even your dedication, so allow that to go in the timing that it does, right? You're not in charge of the timing of the compost, it's composting itself. Allow that to be moment to moment. The earth remembers you, and she welcomes you. And gently welcome the release of any unnecessary tension. Right now is a time for the surrender, the dissolving, the releasing, the cleansing. It is an important part of the integration process, so allowing. Sometimes you'll sense the physical body releases, but also invited to be the mental body. And the earth remembers you. She welcomes you to surrender. This is the most important pose in your entire physical practice. So allow the heaviness of the body and relaxation, and even the mental release. The mind will become more and more free.